Asai, Rastafari, peace and love. Peace and love. The unity of Africa. Njagala mbalamuzeeko mwenna abatulaba mande ya leero ne muto wange mwami Abel. Ate Abel yali bubi nnyo mu Bayibuli, bamutta busi. Bamutta lwaki? Lwakubanga nti nabirina. So bw'obeera nabyo chonga maisha. Nataka niseme watu wangu karibu tena, lakini sana sana tuanze na majadiliano yetu ya kirasta. Ni maumbile yetu, we are a black race, the original race. You know, we have been teaching our younger people about Sir Samuel Baker. They don't know that he was a soldier and a pirate, a thief, a capitalist, a mercantilist. David Livingstone was a soldier, a thief, a pirate, a looter. We are talking about all these missionaries in the name of Jesus. And they wanted the white Jesus. Jesus was not white at all.
Kati Samuel Baker yabbachi.
Yajja ki wano? Ng'anoonya ki wano? Singa teyabba ng'anoonya ki? Ng'anoonya ki?
Ne Livingstone yabbachi.
Nga baagala ki? The people who killed us, the people who made us impoverished, the people who raided these pirates called missionaries. Today, I want to tell you the younger generation of Africa. Learn about your own, the kings of Buganda, the great kings of Buganda, Mwanga, Mutesa the First, many others, Suna. Those are what we need too. Not the pirates from Europe that you are taught about the French Revolution. Yet we had here the Zulu revolution and the pacification of the Southern Africa. Even when it had splinters down into Uganda, upwards and downwards, and spreading over Africa. What today we call the Bantuphone area of Africa. We must insist on this. We must insist that our children are guided into growing up knowing that the black man is the original man. The black woman is the original human, by the way. I wish to tell you, you are the strongest people on the globe we have today. The Europeans tried to enslave so many. They began with their own, the Irish and the others, taking them to America. All of them died in the Appalachian Mountains, in the coal mines there, in the iron fields, they died. They went to raid the Navajos, the ninjas, the original, what we call the Americans, okay, West Indies. You can say whatever you want. All of them died. The Rastaman survived. Even with the infection of gonorrhea and every other disease, we survived. We are buffalo soldiers. Black man, you are a great man. Black woman, you are the original human. I want to thank you. Asante kabisa.
Asante sana, Honorable.
Asante kabisa.
While you are blaming the Sir Samuel Bakers,
yes,
the David Livingstone,
yes,
also blame the original Africans for having slept and allowed these Sir Samuel Bakers to come and discover things,
yes,
that we had long had, and were not seeing value in them.
We had preserved, isn't it?
But for how long were we going to preserve these things, Honorable?
Were we not having iron wax here? Are you sure? In a very measured way. We were having iron wax. How do the Bazungu know about iron working? You are talking of the Industrial Revolution. When we had the Industrial Revolution here, actually several centuries, several millennia, by the way, in Axum. The Baganda here, now when they came here, you saw the Ngoma ya Baganda and Ngalabi Nebirala. Tebialiwo. Don't we have the same Ngalabis? Abagisu. You usually have brass, and then you call it brass band. Using the Western style, the Babylonian style of marching. You bring Kadodi of Bagisu and you will see the fever. The fever. It is also some kind of a brass band. But ours,
babasanga mukuba akatoti kamwe.
Oh yes, yes.
Ne mukavako ne
They
mutamuza.
distorted. They distorted.
Mukifocho muzina mutya?
Kano amabeka. Amabeka.
Ne mubivako
They distorted just about 500 to 1,000 years ago.
So we are so weak.
No.
We allowed these whites.
Now let me, I was talking to some Catholic. I said, so you want democracy? Is there democracy in your church? Of all the popes we have had, several of them, one of them was even 16 years old. Those who do not know that there are some brethren, Catholic brothers, black brothers, who do not know that we have ever had a pope who was 16 years old. They don't know. Most of them don't know that celibacy began just about 300 to 400 years ago. Because most popes were married. You see, I know one. I think Pope Alexander the 6th. And he's...
Hope you don't cause controversy.
No. I'm telling you, what I talk is what...
The Pope that was married.
All of them were married. Like Pope Alexander the 6th had even one of his sons called Borgio, one of the cruelest administrators, dictators in Italy, Sicily and other places. You know, and such truth is hidden from our people. Now, but that is not the point. What I wanted, I was discussing with this brother who is a Catholic. I said, have we ever had democracy in the Catholic Church? Why can't we have at least a black bishop or a non-white Latino, the Aztec, the Wakina Ronaldo type, that kind of a race? Why can't we have one? Because in the whole globe, the Catholic Church is heaviest in Africa and Latin America. Those are the heaviest places. There is no Catholic Church in Europe. And yet they have over 60 cardinals. Out of the 120 cardinals who elect the Pope, 60 of them, over 60, actually should be 65.
But we're having Argentine Pope.
Oh, don't you know that is an Italian? Didn't you know that?
Italian
Argentine. Abel. I should inform you this. Don't you know that Pope Francis is an Italian? We have never had a non-Italian Pope. And if I talk about the Catholics only, somebody will say, you see, maybe he's biased about the Catholics. Let us come to this church called the Church of Uganda.
Don't we have a Pope from Argentina?
No. He's an Italian who migrated there.
In Argentina?
In Argentina. Pope Francis. There is nothing about hatred of the Catholic Church, no, and I will talk about all of them. So including the Salvation Army, where I fellowship. Okay? Now, Church of Uganda, Church of England, Church of what? I think it will be Church of Bugisu as well. Or Church of Buganda here. Of course, because they started as a colonial entity in administration and whatever, and especially the Imperial British.
Are okay with it, whether they don't have any black African Pope.
Yes,
they are okay with what Rome says.
Yes,
it's Catholic.
This is what we are saying, but you know the type of democracy they also preach should be reflected in every other sphere of life. You get me? Now, Church of Uganda. The nearest the black man came to becoming one was Sentamu, a Muganda, but a British. He's a British citizen. Did they manipulate until they failed him? Actually, I discovered later Sentamu. Bishop Sentamu is the brother to Kayanja, Pastor Kayanja. And the family is simply what I would call the family of Levites, if we go by the Bible teachings.
So the blacks never supported Bishop Sentamu?
Not blacks. Not blacks.
Where were they?
The Archbishop of Canterbury today would be a black man, and from Uganda, a Rastaman. It never came to be. This is the apathy we are talking about. Salvation Army. Do you see this, sir? I'm a Rasta. These are fellowships, Catholic fellowship, Church of Uganda fellowship. It is also British founded by one William Booth in 1865.
Not African founded.
Not African founded. No, I've grown up with it. Now, you tell me, if the equivalent of their pope is called a general, not even one. The bulk of the Salvation Army, you find it in Africa, you find it in India and North America. But even from North America, any pope, the equivalent of a pope, should be white and British. British, particularly British English, because the founder, William Booth, was from East London. I've visited there and I know. East London. He was a Methodist who later on became the founder of Salvation Army. Yes. So we want democracy all throughout.
Was a thief.
They are thieves. Thief! Idiots. I'm sorry to use this vulgar language. Why did they come here? Who sent them? Who paid them? And for what reason?
To help us discover what we've been sleeping on, that this is actually God.
And you are sure no black man had discovered? Obuso Gabolaire? Omukuru Budagali, new and preserved Budagali, the falls, in an environmentally clean way. Let the water here, you know, when you deify something, and then it is not wrong to deify.
We call them the Owen Falls.
You call them what? Owen. And Owen. As if Owen was here. As if there were no Basoga there. As if Budagari were not there. You see? The Budagalis, the generations of Budagalis, were they not there?
The other day I was in the game park, Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
Why is it called the Queen Elizabeth?
Queen Elizabeth. As if we had no Omukama of Bunyoro. Or Mugabe of Toro, whatever the case, how they titled them. You see? Because, you know, Bunyoro and the Toro, when one of the princes came to that place, the palace of Toro, where the current palace is, then he said, this is the highmost point and I can see all over. I can see any enemy coming. They said, he was a prince of Bunyoro. Just like the Basoga. One of the princes of Bunyoro is keeping there. You see? This is why the king, King Kabarega, actually comes and dies in Busoga, signifying that you are my people. He died there. After Seychelles, 1923, around there, he dies in Busoga. Did you know that history? Honorable. I hope you know.
Honorable.
Now, look here first. There is something to do with the body. Abel. The person they name you after, if you had a 70, 80-year-old, he will tell you this boy Abel behaves like his either grandfather or great-grandfather. Pure. Why do you think the ash of this Indian called who? I forget, from South Africa, the one who led. Why was it brought to the Nile? Simply making stock that Indians, you must remain here. This is your soil as well. I am working on inclusion of minority tribes. I'm working on that because together with my brother Karubanga, Schedule 3. Now, the Indians are not here, but yet they have been around. Schedule 3 of these.
The Constitution doesn't recognize them.
It doesn't, but where have they been? Have they really come to intermingle with the native? The native? No. This is why they had problems with Amin. That's why they had problems with Amin. They have refused to acclimatize themselves to become pure Ugandans. Completely, the Indian community. We have one of them in the parliament. And there is another one, a colleague of mine from Tororo.
So, Bakirize Mubawase,
tebagala tekisoboka
ekyo bwe kigaana then we do not find it easy to incorporate them.
This is why should they quarrel then?
Yes.
If they don't want our children to marry from them, or they also marry ours, yes, this is it which they don't want. They stay alone, enclaved alone. By the way, even those Africans at the time during colonial times of India, the Africans, black people who were taken to India, then later on when they decolonized, these blacks remained there. They are called the Sidis. You can Google. They are called the Sidis. Intermingling even there. Indian is a very hard man. I'm telling you.
So aren't you going to sweat too much to
you know, we can include the others. I'm not ready for Indians. No. I'm not ready for that.
Yes.
I can't speak for them.
Yes. They shouldn't be a minority.
No. They are a foreign minority. Fine. We can recognize you as a foreign minority. Or you get naturalized. But not by birth because you have refused.
But yet they've helped our economy.
How?
They're very good business people.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Yes. Acumen in business.
Yes.
Very good. Do you know how they acquired that? Sometime back. In 1918, I think it is these sugar works in not Kakira. Murujubai began that one before. I think in 1916 he had started buying land, and the colonial government put a stop on it by 1924 because he was going to buy the whole of Busoga. At the time, the Basoga who had preserved the wetlands, everybody wetlands, to the Indian of the time, the Basoga were stupid. The British of the time, the Bagisu were stupid because they left Mbale as a hunting ground. And the Bagisu's way of doing things, they learn the movements of animals, especially huntable animals. So they knew if the antelopes were here this season, dry season, in this wetland, they will attract a lot of predators, isn't it? So next time they have to migrate. So the Bagisu would stay up in the mountain, come down to hunt. Kakunguru comes here and thinks these are stupid people. The Bambale, Bumagen and other places were hunting grounds for Bagisu. You see? But because, Abel, I want you to be a good student of mine today. Become a Rasta and study systems. Omuganda bwakuwa emumbwa nze nalabanga tuli wane Buganda wane Kayunga. I mean mukono. Nakifuma eri Kayunga ba mukono simanyi. Eri mukono. Awo wenakulira ku kyalo kyeka ukweyo. Wenakulira emyaka ndowooza najjanga ndi ebiri nenvaayo mu 73 nga jijo gituuse oba 8 oba 7 nakaddayo mu bukulu muno mu bukadde buno. Now nga ndaba maama abakazi abaganda bamuwa mumbwa. Now do you know that my daughter-in-law, when she's pregnant, there is that urge in her body which needs iron.
Yes.
And the iron is only found in very fine soil.
Yes.
So the Baganda knew intino okora mumbwa, and the type of soil, this mud they make a mumbwa into has a very heavy content of iron.
Yes.
A mumbwa kati muzigo ba mulinya lya Yesu.
Now you go and get iron tablets.
Iron tablets.
Okay.
Generic, which are even dangerous to your system. Generic, they are poison to you. A mumbwa abaginywa bonna mama yakafa n'emyaka simanyi yafudde n'ensambu.
Baba TV Obusoga bulere program ganga mukakanyumero ka Hot Cup at 9 ndine Honorable John Musira yebwe abeera wano addayo mu buwangwa n'ennono n'okujjayo ddala the African root.
Exactly.
And kiki kye tulina okubeera. Tetunaba kutuuka gye tugenda olunaku olwaleero olunaku luwanvu n'ebye tugenda okwogerako bingi ddala naye ntero mu wakadde n'atulukira ffe obuvu n'obuddo obw'omufiriko omutuufu abuli butya ne butya bwe twandisanye okweyisa. Kyensinga okulumwa abeera wano n'avuma abazungu n'abafiirako bufi.
Gasyagago tulina okugavuma ate abaana baffe bamanye nti
katulumulemu katono ddala tugenda kula n'Honorable John Musira.
sponsored by the capitalist, the local national capitalist. And I'm talking it to the camera.
And this time around, tewali bazungu mu parliament, it is we.
No, you see, capitalism does not care about color. No. Imperialism, especially at local preponderance, does not care about color. No. Nze nkuta singa nchizura nti nonjagadde wano baba enyumba eno nkuta oli muddugavu munnange nkuta. That's the principle of capitalism.
So were the colonialists in parliament when this narcotic bill?
Yes, imperialists rather. Actually, they are the ones who sponsored it. Because kakubalire kino wabadde etteka weliri ne mugundi yaffe what the police the act nani it is there. Narcotics.
Yes.
Enjaga ate bani abaleeta ebintu byenjaga. Omuzungu ajja wano nga atusanga tulina njaga naye tulina principles ez'okuginywa nga luli abagagga abataka b'e Buganda be bafuwa enjaga. Abataka bagagga sagagga nagagga ewange eyo abagisu nga baaraara abasajja abagugu baraara ba fathers baraara means umuraara is a fatherly kind of nga bo be banywa njaga ate nga baginywera muki waliwo kino babiyita batya eri tugiyita si smoking pipe tugiyita si khwabi
tugiyita mindi
emindi otyo eyo yennyini ekintu ky'emmindi olowooza kyavaawa nga mu Africa ya kidiscovery nga kakati enjaga eno bwagiteeka wano eyita mu mazzi omukogwo ne gujjamu kano ka nicotine n'avaamu nicotine. Waliwo ani ku bascientists baffe agenze na studying ekintu ekyo nalaba wano mu parliament simanyi our analytical labs you my god using the western style. No.
What is the Rastafarian's opinion on narcotics?
Anything smokeable. You know, narcotics now, I want you to categorize them.
Yes.
Ganja, nakubulira wano ntino ganja, the botanical name, usually the botanical names are Latin, isn't it? It is sativa. Cannabis sativa. Cannabis sativa. Sativa means sweet.
And cannabis?
Of course, it's the name, real name.
Yes.
But sativa is sweet. Now, the European who named it sweet, using what principles? In 1840 to 1842, twalina olutalo lw'enjaga. Nga aba British batunda njaga mu China. I think they had colonized China and they were selling njaga, cannabis. The Republican nationalist movement of China came up and said, no, you are destroying our people. You see, you are destroying our people. Today we have the islands which were part of China. Those were springboards too of njaga trade. Okay? We in India, we had people. You know, there is this man I like most, George Orwell. You have read his books?
Not yet.
Oh, I think you should. Animal Farm, you should have. Should I give you one? A copy of Animal Farm is only just about 20,000. Animal Farm. This is a book I read when I was in my S234, and I sat for it as my set book. But George Orwell was a soldier, and I was responsible in India for selling njaga.
Yes, but for which purposes? Maybe for medicinal purposes.
Not for medicine. Simply confuse, make people drunk. And when Karl Marx electron comes up, why does he have the adage, opium of the people? Religion is opium of the people. So, kakati katuje ku njaga wano.
Yes, and what happened in
Parliament? Eteka eryaliwo mu penal code lye supporting ganze.
Ekadde
eryo. Kakati lino baguddewo. No cannabis, nothing, no farming, but it should be farmed on commercial basis for pharmacological reasons. Akakati ani achikola mu commercial on the commercial basis.
If you get a license.
Yes, ateba mekaba yinzo kufuna license. Where that licenses have already been gotten. Do you know that? Abagagga bawano by imperialists, the local imperialists, the national imperialists bafuna dda ama license
so that it can properly be regulated. Otherwise if it is left for everyone we can hurry.
Kakati mbulira bagagga benyini bagenda kukozesa ki mechanical intensity
abajifuna abaana bakola mu
baki bana Uganda sibwe kityo nga baraisi bo baraisi capital intensity cannot work in Njaga. No oje kufuna bana Uganda okukoloma ngabo olowooza tebafurutireyo bavaayo batya. Ekyokubiri ba cross breeding enjaga eyaffe y'omu Africa si nga eri cross bred. Waliwo zino ze ba cross breeding ne bacyankalanya filios like that. Eyo mbinyo ekwonona n'omutwe.
So your point of departure on this particular bill,
they should have burnt like it was in the penal code fully.
No commercial,
nothing.
Not for medicine purposes.
Not for medicine even, if that's the case.
Not even a Rasta man.
For religious reasons. Yes, we could even accept that. Gezako gambe ntino wine yonna tebeerawo.
Tunasembera
tutya abakatoliki.
Ku altar.
Do you see how what we call a slave mentality? Lwakubanga the religious content of the Rastaman, because the Rastaman is African, somebody must stop him. Ate nkubulidde Abel, kankubulire. Era ne nakati bagenda kumujjawo. Nakati wa fono. Ne dodo. If they discover that it has good contents of chlorophyll, do you know that enjaga bwoba oginywedde nga nomu horticulture eno akalagala tekalina effect apart from the curative properties.
Yes, I should testify myself.
Yes.
COVID.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes. When I had COVID at first, I'm a Rasta, but I don't smoke, not even cigarette, but one day terenjaga nintekamu bulagalalagala. Abantu baffe bagirina eyo.
Honorable, would you want to think that we tinkered with the law that was already okay?
Already okay? Instead, we now opened a window. Sente. Ate baliwa bagagga. Omuntu wa bulijjo muna Uganda wa bulijjo nowhere. So members of parliament without knowing. Now kakati eyo njaga katujje kumira amairungi. What I would call what addictive content do they have? Waliwo mundange member of parliament nga ndowooza musomesa butabika oba something like is a doctor. Naleta nti n'abaana bonoonese bali eyo kakati gwe njagala ombuulire abe no just tell me.
But it's also true abaana bonoonese
ekyo kituufu.
Yes.
Bonooneka lwa mayirungi kankubuuze community ki gy'omanyi mu Uganda muno oba mu East Africa esinga okulya mayirungi?
Abasomaali wali
weebale nnyo ate abasomaali abanna-Uganda abasomaali ekisenyi nga bangi era balina n'omubaka wa parliament yaliwo omusomaali wano mu parliament Honorable Ismail kankubulire okuva Karamoja naye lwakubanga mu third schedule muno abasomaali tebaliimu.
Wasi mubaka w'abasomaali mubaka w'abaga
kati nze bwompita nti nno ndi mugisu nkiwulira bubi oba singa ngamba nti negwe oli Muganda kibeera kibi. Identity kakati abasomaali be basinga okulya amayirungi bambeka abali eruzira ebyo bye bandirese Rasta n'ababuuza baggalawo debate mangu nnyo.
And my own Rasta stormed out of
yeah, of course. Once you stop the debate, then what do? And yet, I'm a central person.
Civility calls for take the floor of parliament.
Yes.
And
no. I can't have such a stupid thing, no. Because Rana one is it what? This district here surrounding Kampala. I mean, I support those farmers go to court let us go to court. Mairungi tegalina mutawana gwonna mbabulidde etteeka lino balikolera bagagga ate n'amairungi gajjamu as a victim of circumstance lwakubanga bali bagadde wano njaga ne bagamba ndowooza tuwongeremu n'amairungi for the law to look comprehensive. Amairungi bagalima wano ebutambala emabira koboko yonna terego wano mukaramoja wali ku waguru abayita kadamomo.
So where was
yes.
the spirit in this law? What is it that you the members of parliament
yes.
looked at? Mutasa gwanga ku baana kwononeka oba abantu kwononeka oba kwagala tufune ensimbi in a much more regulated manner?
Bw'oba ofuna ensimbi ezisinga kankubuulire abantu aba small business be baleeta ensimbi mu ggwanga. Ekiwulidde ssebo wali owuliddeko nti no international imperial consortiums egaggawaliza abantu oba Coca-Cola oba ani? No, it is small businesses. Abalima amairungi abo ab'ebutambala abagundi wano emabira ab'ekoboko ab'ekaramoje kadama lwakubanga it is a local economy. Ate kyokubiri muli kukola wano teeka Kenya terikoze, Tanzania terikoze, Congo teririna ate ngaeyoga kula buguzi amairungi nebagatunda. Kenya ngefuna sente mu mairungi yali lulinga egatwala mu Europe mu Italy n'awalala. So lino bakoledde abaani bazungu.
In a parliament that has members 557 or plus.
Yes.
Even in areas where jebalima amairungi gano wali abakaba parliament.
Yes, we bali.
Why are you fighting this alone? Why is it a lone battle?
You see, bandwagoning is what I've always resisted in life.
Yes.
Where I think something is right, I will fight it. Era nabano abewa kiso abagenda mu kooti nze wendi ngenda namwe mu kooti era mukole era muberewa mu bwenna abewa kiso abe mabira abe koboko mwenna mugende muwabe ebyenjaga bireke naye amairungi tegalina mutawaana. Amairungi gasomeseza baana baffe ate kino oluddira bajja kuba bateeka dodo nga bamuteekako ojja kulaba parliament nga bagigula lwakubanga dodo ne gundi ne nakati bye birina very heavy content of chlorophyll which we need in our body.
Deputy Speaker of Parliament mukwano gwonnyo mwami Thomas Tayeba.
Yes.
Akulaba bwabatalabye
njagala ndabe
agenda kasalamu bakamulage
ate musindikire ku platform ye musindikire lwakubanga ate lwaki yava mu ntebe n'afuluma tekikolangako yeva mu ntebe nga tuggulawo debate bwe tuti era abantu ne bagamba nti no ndowooza Rasamani agenda kwogera yava mu ntebe okuva eyo mu ntebe nga tugenda mu committee of the whole parliament.
Didn't you debate?
How would you debate? He closed the debate. And that is my quarrel.
Isn't that subject to constitutional review? Like a take this
is the trouble.
Went into committee.
Into committee. Immediately. I think ababaka bali basatu obabana abakyogerako. Ate nga bavudde one side of the house. Kakati for kugenda okwogera and I'm a central man on narcotics. Even the report, if you see the committee report, bagamba nti no n'amairungi addictive properties, I don't know those medical terms by our laboratory, which is a colonial laboratory, which is an imperial laboratory, and the local capitalists must have bribed them because njagala mmanye ekiva mu mairungi, the content, the addictive content of a mairungi n'amalewa mairungi ne nakati mairungi ne dodo, which has a higher chlorophyll content. It is dodo.
Honorable, when you say the imperial capitalists must have bribed them,
yes.
Who?
Yes, all of them.
From the Deputy Speaker?
Why not? Is he above corruption? You think so? A human being, a Ugandan, and a younger one?
Would you like to re-emphasize it more?
I want to re-emphasize that there must have been a push. The way I saw things, there must have been a push instead of debating even, this is, you are affecting the livelihoods of people, of Ugandans. Allow debate even for the whole day. I've seen parliaments out there, in Kenya, in even America and others. Such issues which affect the lives of their citizens. Give it even 2, 3, 4 days of debate.
Aren't you risking to be censured as a member of parliament?
Which sense? What?
Because you are be censored.
Hey.
Because you are
tell
moving
me
away.
Again. No, tell me again.
You are moving away from collective responsibility as MPs to have passed this narcotic.
There is a descending responsibility as well. I have the descending responsibility. You get me right? Number 2, censure who? So you brought me to parliament. The people of Uburo East who brought me to parliament brought me under the constitution of Uganda. Your rules and whatever, I'm not party to it. I'm not party to your rules. Never, never, never. Because and I will never.
They will ask you to prove
yes,
whether the imperial capital.
I will prove. I will prove. Why did you open the window for farming? And who are going to manage those farms? Are they not our Ugandans? Are you not risking them? You see? Did they question? Did they interrogate that?
Are you ready for this war?
Yeah, very ready. Because we are going to court. For ganja, to me, it should have been comprehensive. We should have even put more tafari on the existing law in our penal code. Mira has nothing. You see, when you go to Kenya, Njaga, illegal. Tanzania, Njaga, illegal. Isn't it?
Honorable, you still have a window.
Yes.
Run to the president because he has to assent.
I can't run to the president.
He has to assent.
We will run to the people, especially over Mira. We are running to the people. Abamira mumpulira abana baffe kakati babo bagenze lwakubanga parliament ya mubyekola mubiraba kati. Mubiraba. Toyinza ku affecting livelihoods of people. Abantu abali ebutabika banywa bintu bingi. Babo bali wano banywa simanyi buno bukibuki bonna biri mu bicupa banywa. Enguli banywa lwaki temugala nguli? Lwaki temugala mwenge? Lwaki? Obo bagamba nti amayirungi mabi. Wandigambye nti abasumali bonna ba Uganda bonna bali butabika. Bameka bali butabika. Bambalire kati. Abasumali abali amayirungi. Community ya Uganda abasumali bali amayirungi nnyo. Ne abanga abembale.
I'm very worried next Monday I might not have my honorable Musira here.
Oh my God.
The Parliament of Uganda has ganged against him for deviating from collective
I'm
responsibility.
very ready for that. I'm used to fighting my personal wars, especially when they are popular. Ati balimba president abayirungi tagadna mutawana. Niche nkugambye you should have synchronized this law with the other East African countries.
So kojewe chugamba nti there might have been bribes.
Why not?
For this bill to pass.
Don't I know? No. Don't I know?
Must prove.
Don't I know? He who alleges must prove.
Yes.
It is the duty of Rastaman to prove this. Because I can prove it. Already licenses, even before, licenses have been given out for ganja farming. Licenses to who? Is it Musila? Is it you, Abe? Is it you? You see? This is the trouble you have. You see? So you want to simply oppress the local peasant and have an imperialist, a blacker imperialist, a black, actually a white man in a blacker skin.
Honorable,
yes.
Away from narcotics,
yes.
Is it true that there are bribes moving around in the corridors?
Corridors
of Parliament?
Thank you for bringing that. Mwana wange nkwagala nnyo. Who wrote?
Bribes moving in the corridors of Parliament.
It is the Speaker of Parliament who wrote. You know, you were saying Parliament might go for your discipline so that you appear before the disciplinary committee. Ate Katuntu ante tuzalibwa mwaka gumu.
Disciplinary committee.
Tuzalibwa mwaka gumu. Ajja kundaba Rastaman. Ajja kundaba nga bwe nfaanana. Bankwasa alabe. Lwakubanga ezobujulizi mbulina.
So are there bribes that move in the corridors of Parliament?
The Speaker what?
Ebisawo bya sente bitambula mu
kati kankubuuze. Nga wano sikyogerangako. Waliwo ne committee.
Olinaye bwe yayogera n'amanya nagawandiika eno.
Otyo?
Wakamera tagalaba.
Tagalaba naye nayogera. Sinti no integrity ya Parliament ate kibaddewo ne Parliament eziyise
Who is bribing?
Kankuweyo ekyokulabirako. Waliwo anti lwakubanga 2025 tulina okukola, I think next year under 2025 tulina okukola full update of identification of Ugandans, renewal, lwakubanga bwe nafunye identity card nabadde nga nkyali mutoko katono sinti no muto. 10 years down the road somebody's structure changes. So tulina okukola ebyo byonna. Kakati committee ya parliament enonjogera ku kamera defense and internal affairs balwanagana omusebo abamu ne bavaamu ne bagenda n'okulaba abazungu bagenda ku companies nga 2-3
due diligence.
No problem.
Yes.
Why then did they have almost 3/4 of the committee writing what I don't even call a minority report? That one is a popular report.
Honorable, 3/4 of MPs cannot write a minority.
Yes.
That becomes a majority.
But by the rules, it is a minority.
That's a popular report.
It's a popular report. Why? I'm speaking on the camera. Go and investigate. You are a young journalist. Go and investigate.
Was there money that was exchanged?
That was the suspicion. By the War Committee. Why should a few people, maybe executive of the committee, fly over to Europe? Why? Are you doing procurement as well?
Unfortunately, we don't have.
So it is good that the speaker has written about
MP it. On the defense committee on this floor.
Mwite omwaje wano.
Defend.
Nkuweko nja kukuwa amanya bwe tuba tuvudde wano oyiteko omwana singa baagala okwogera.
Mpabe nyini bolowooza nti baali
si kulya. Nja kukuwa some of the members who wrote that popular minority report.
Yes.
Lwaki bagiwandiika? It is fair on topical issues or if I disagree with a certain trend of things like I've told you, I can write a minority. But to have 30 members and 20 members are writing a report and you say that is minority, that's a popular report. To be, we should have in our rules popular reports as well.
So,
okay?
Is bribery now the center of things in Parliament?
No. That's not the case.
In the corridors of Parliament,
when
in
I
the
told
offices
you,
of MPs,
when I told you, ate speaker, sakugamba wano, nkuwe bwino. Eleka zine ezivudde ebweru okuintimidatinga civil servants n'abalala. Ntula ku park ya local government. Wali owuliddeko nti nno ngenze mukono, ngenze mpigi, nenzijayo, nengamba kawo gundi. Twabadde wano nga tu interrogating abana Mukono municipality ni Mukono district who are my hosts. I'm their resident, officially resident, but I can't get biased. No, I can't even go to them and say.
So why would the Speaker of Parliament communicate to the party whip? Take note of
MPs. Ate abaliwa abali enguzi baliwa accountability committees ziba headed n'abaani okuva ludda ki
the opposition
ne ku TV amalala bagenzeko ne bagamba nti nno omusajja ono okuva ebugisu mumujjeko na wano bajja kujja
ate on TV yabo ino
naye bajja kujja babagule nti nno omusajja oyo mumujje wano atuswaza aba heading accountability committees bebaani member wa parliament owebubuulo sebo nga talina wadde 11 ngenda kuvaawo bwerere nga tonywendera kacupa ka soda naye nga abamu tuli kuzimba magorofa wano wenyini mu Kampala. Wali owuliddeko nti no ku center wana Kampala Rasamani alinawo wadde ne ka political ka
kuba abamu kuboogeddwako basinze ofuna bribe and this is their first time in parliament.
Oh yes. What is wrong? A corrupt mind is a corrupt one. You are born like that.
We are going to take a very short break.
Please.
This issue of bribery and corruption in parliament, especially being said about the accountability committees, is very worrying.
Very worrying. Very worrying.
Honorable Katukomewo time.
Karisebo.
This is Hot.
Nyo. Era mulungi nnyo. He's an eloquent lawyer. He's an eloquent legislator.
You believe in him?
Oh yes, very much so. Credit where it is deserved.
Yes.
He's a good legislator.
Yes.
He's a charismatic legislator. And is one who can move parliament, especially convincingly when he has an issue to give.
Jema Sinto.
No.
Except that it has already struggled to bring members in parliament, but also Jema chechimu ku bibina by'ebyobufuzi for long ekibadde nga kisimbawo presidential candidate. Omujjukira Kibirige Mayanja Muhammad.
Very well.
Founded in 1995 as a Justice Forum Party.
Yes.
Okay. Kikiriza mu nfuga y'amateeka n'eddembe ly'abantu.
Exactly.
Do you see Jema nga bw'okkiriza mu president general waakyo omubaka Honorable Basalirwa?
Yes.
Do you see it nga nakyo kirina emiralira gye kirina wansi eyo, and do you see it as some of those formidable political parties that was anti zinaateekawo okuvuganya?
If you are not an easy sellout, you can. Two, if you nurture focus.
Is a sellout meaning?
Nga bakugulanga nkoko. Sellout. Now, sellout is not all about money.
Yes.
But even ideas.
Conscience.
Yes, conscience. If I, like me, I'm an independent member of parliament. Why is it that I'm NRM? All times. Because one, I believe in the original ideologies of NRM. The pacification today. Bameka abogerera NRM nga sinajja wano mu Buganda apart from a few intermittent at times naye consistency nga teriwo. Omanyi nti nno I envy opposition members of rather opposition generally. Okwewaayo sacrifice buli ka radio buli ka TV buli wawona nga obalabawo presence nga tukyali bato. Omuwala bw'ogenda okumuseducinga olemerako. Olumu ajja agambe omusajja ono anemeddeko. Okiwulidde? Kaakati ffe ekyatuleetera emitawaana ba NRM okwetya ne twekukakuuninga ne tugamba ate n'abamu waliwo nga nkyatandika wano mu Kampala okugenda ku ma radios ne TV zino. Bagamba naye gwe mubaka ojja kusobola bya NRM byo? Ojja kusobola otya? Naye kati biri bitya? Biri bitya?
Honorable Jema.
Yes. So Jema,
yes,
if it has a focus, if it builds ideology, if it builds a philosophy, kankugambe kino. Mpozi oba ne oli musiramu osoma Fatiha bulungi nnyo. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin rahmanirrahim maliki yawmiddin. Oyinza okukyogera oba n'okiyimba nga bw'olaba kitaafa ali mu ggulu erinnya lye litukuzibwe obwakabaka bwe bujje bw'ebityo. You are building something which is captivating. Kyova olaba abantu abasinga President Kyagulanyi bamugoberedde sintino lwakubanga akyali muto. No music. Ate music sebo Bob Marley yagamba music ekukuba and you are not hard. Kyova olaba abantu abasinga President Kyagulanyi message yagiyisirawa mu music. Era music is very appealing. So it's not something you joke with.
Do we see Jema nga bw'olaba bina ekkiriza mu mateeka n'enfuga ey'ekiramuzi entuufu basobola okwongerako abaka ba parliament mu 2026?
Kaakati Jema nga tentacles ezituttewa okkirisiza mu mateeka, but that is at intellectual intelligentsia elitist level. Naye mu bantu ba bulijjo oba bagamba otya?
You don't give them that much chance.
But kakati ogamba omuntu owewange ebugiswe na misindwa tukkirizira mu mateeka byabitegeera mugambe nti nokkirizira mu mwanyi.
Wache mmanyi nti n'ekifo ky'omubaka Asumani Basalirwa waliwo okukolagana ne Nuupu okulaba nti
okumuyisa. Exactly. Okumuyisa.
Tugenza mu kibiina kya UPC.
Yes.
Founded in 1960.
I know.
By Dr. Apollo Milton Obote.
In 1969 under UPU. Uganda People's Union first. Then it came down from ANC, African National Congress of Musazi wano in the 50s. Ignatius Musazi. Down into 1958 something like that. Then it splintered, of course, okay, into UPU and others. So Obote gets it, especially by 1959-60, and he was UPU. Then later on, it became UPC. That's why you see the word Congress coming from ANC, African National Congress. Something like that.
Kiringa ekyafunye amaanyi oluvannyuma lwa by-election eno yabaddewo Oyam North.
To me, such a thing
and it looks like it is shaping, although it has it coalesces with NRM.
Yes.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
But do we see it this time round that ekyekulubeeseza ku NRM it is standing on its own and also spreading away from the north?
There are two parties which are very historical in this country, DP and the UPC.
Yes. DP being the oldest party.
The oldest, DP is the oldest.
1950.
UPC is the second.
Yes.
Now, if UPC is in marriage with NRM, there is no problem. You know, Abel, olina okutegeera constitution yaffe bulungi. Bulungi nnyo. Constitution ebeeramu objectives. Mu Luganda twandigambye tutya? Oba byesigwa oba biki? Objective ebigendererwa. Yeah, that's the right word. Ebigendererwa.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the Constitution of America, balina bigendererwa ki bibagenderako. Kati wano mu Uganda tonteeka mu mateeka ka articles biki that is stupid. Mpa ebigendererwa biriki? Ebigendererwa by'omuna Uganda mu constitution yaffe biri 29. The constitution of Uganda has 29 objectives. For example, this one, the third objective, national unity and stability. National unity and stability. Kano akawaayiro number 5 under that objective. The state shall provide a peaceful, secure, and stable political environment which is necessary for economic development. Awali chaos sebo temukula. Genda ke Sudan. Genda ko kati e Congo. Fa ababikuliddemu nga tuli mu instability. Olumu ne tulowooza nga tukyali baana ne tulowooza nti noba fe we are under curse of some kind until NRM came to liberate this country. So ebigendererwa ekintu ekikulu nnyo ebisigadde singa wano nsoma article 69 bino ebyogera ku parties ebyatiko tebirina makulu
29 objectives.
29 objectives.
Okay. So does
for example
stand a chance, honorable? Because this time around they've warned that they are going to front a presidential candidate.
Yes.
These things of nafe tuli mabega wa president Yoweri Museveni wewe NRM, they are going to front a presidential candidate.
Yes,
this time round. UPC.
I mean UPC.
Yes.
Yes.
This time round they are going to front one.
And they have ever done that. They have ever done that several times in the elections. The present, current elections of Uganda have been doing it. It is upon them to choose to put a presidential candidate.
Do you give them a chance? Do you think Ugandans will give them a chance? Ugandans,
yes.
Not the people in Lango, or in northern Uganda.
Yes. Now, tulina obuzibu mu Africa. Nga tetumanyi nti nno all our parties go by the ethnicities. Kenya is worse. Kenya is the worst. Oyinza okulaba wano mu Uganda nti nno tuli ethnic wanda whatever. No, it is Kenya. Naye ekikulu nti nno waliwo ekintu wekitandikira. Ng'abarasta kati okuvaayo nenzija nengamba ndi murasta. Olabye abarasta abaana ne bagamba kumba abarasta ffe tuli wano Kampala tulowooza nti nno tuli feka nebugisu webali. So the springboard. Kyova olaba bwe tuba tusoma ebya Yesu ne tugamba nti nno Nazareth ekyebuyudaaya. Where Jesus comes from,
so
Nazareth.
The springboard of UPC
is northern Uganda.
Is northern Uganda,
exactly.
Especially the Lango
exactly.
sub-region.
The Lango sub-region, yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do you see them amanyi gabwe okugenda newalala?
No, they have spread.
In the west,
in the
east.
members of parliament who are UPC.
Yes.
I don't know whether we have one outside northern region, general northern region. I don't know. I haven't yet done that research, but I think I should do it.
Yes.
You are prompting me to do it.
Yes.
Now, but just like you see DP, most of them Buganda. Just like you see NUP, 57 members of parliament, only 2 are from outside Uganda, in any case Eastern Uganda. Only. The rest, the bulk of them, 55, Buganda region. You see?
So the springboard of
Usually either party or a revolution or anything, it has its...
But NRM has a national character.
We are now, because it went on metamorphosizing over time.
Yes.
The man who is called Museveni started in the 70s. In the 70s, he was in my own constituency, Bumbo, where he was arrested by Amini's soldiers. Bumbo. He has even written down. I forgot to come with his mustard seed. The original edition. Go to page 55. Original edition of the mustard seed, where he was arrested in Bumbo, and that is my home, exactly my home. So now he spread the tentacles. Plot 49 in Mbale, where he was shot and survived. His friends died, spreading all over. This is what other parties should also see, that they shouldn't concentrate as enclaves where they started. If President Kyagulanyi started in Buganda, it is high time. I have been complaining here. The leader of opposition of parliament, of the 2 non-central MPs, at least one of them, to give it, and if I read the Article 59, for that purpose, let me do it. Allow me to do it.
Because the article to add to Ganyo begin.
For that
purpose, you can, yes.
Now, that a political party in a multi-party political system shall conform to the following. Every political party shall have a national character. Every political party must have what? A national character. Kakati nupu lwakubanga awalala teriyo yandibadde omuwala ono w'ejjinja oba Nambesye, Honorable Nambesye, ibe bandibadde elope, isn't it? Naye kakati bo central yokka buli kafo ebisinga byonna central yokka. Kati ogwo gwe mutawaana bano ba northern
you also be fair enough,
yes,
the likes of NUP and other opposition
yes,
parties,
yes,
for the security arm,
yes,
to have curtailed,
yes, yes,
their plans,
yes,
of spreading their wings,
yes,
because every time, many times, not say every time, many times we've seen them cross the borders of Buganda and
yes,
go very far away, especially NUP.
True.
They've had issues with security people.
Yeah,
fact,
true.
Today, NUP is in Mbarara. Okay,
yes, we will see what comes out.
But everyone is saying, bana baleka, bana bakiriza, nga police tayina kye yogera. So you already see.
Kyova olaba nkusomedde ne nkugamba, the state shall provide a peaceful, secure and stable political environment which is necessary for economic development. Naye state you don't provoke. No. Karl Marx n'abalala, Lenin nabo bayita mu bintu bino. Njagala nnyo osome the Red Revolution 1917, October Revolution by the Bolsheviks. Olowooza byagwawo bugwi. Baali batambula. You don't provoke a revolution. You know, I read somewhere where Lenin, before the October Revolution of the Bolsheviks, when he was addressing a rally, because he was now opposition against the Tsar, and when he saw the police on the podium, he came down and ran for his own safety. Now, that's why with us revolutionaries, self-preservation. There are 6 principles, but principle number 1, self-preservation. You must be alive to see things moving. Museveni has evaded all traps like a good Machiavellian fox. While there's a lion which cannot evade traps. It is very strong, but if you trapped it, very easy. So now, Noop must now cultivate itself downwards.
Or it must be allowed to cultivate itself downwards.
No. Who will allow you? That means I allow you, have become part of you? Or you expect me to allow you?
You read very carefully until the
Yes.
state must provide
Yes.
okay
Yes.
security.
Yes. They should have added and provoked. Omutawana gw'abaana baffe.
Who determines that I have been provoked?
The
or
state
not?
is the state. The state is the state. There must be tranquility. Ekigenda mu maaso singa bassa omuntu n'owulira nti no Rasamani bamusse ani gye babulaminga? Babulaminga opposition party? No. They will say we are not party. It is the state which has coercive arms. It is the state, security is insurance of the Ugandans. And it is in the trust of the state. Okiraba ekyo. Naye abantu baffe kati bagenda ne baprovokinga state ono omusirikale ali kumuvuma olabye ono omusajja wa ant ani amukwatangako. Leave alone that is a former army commander. Ani amukwatako. Because the civil way of doing things, if you build a focus, like I've always said, with your ideology, right ideology, nope. Ewange na Misindwa district President Kyagulanyi yafuna omutwalo gumu mu 1200 ate nga tetubalabako waliwo omuyambuuzira wano n'agamba nti nno tebalina structures neŋŋamba n'ewange chairman wa NUP wa district bamuyita mwami bwayo wali ne offices weziri naye if you go provoking what not ogwo gwe mutawaana. You don't provoke the state ever since. For those of us who have read revolutions, who are political science, no. Because the state has coercive arms. You provoke, they respond massively. With all the force. It is, but even the penal code. It says you will use, I don't know whether minimum or reasonable.
They call it
and the reasonable, what is the reasonability? Yes.
Because who determines that there's been provocation? Because we've seen, for example, police react even when there is nothing.
Now,
actually, police finds a very peaceful environment.
Yes.
Very peaceful. People are cooperating with one another.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, and then later on they will tell you that people provoked the security people.
Do you know this one?
You've seen this happen.
No, I have to tell you. Let me tell you this.
Yes.
Are you aware that there are some opposition members who even tell the police to go for them, rough them up for the camera?
And the police does so?
Uganda but
also the police does so?
No, that one is what I would call posturing. Posturing. Nkwata bwoti, mpisa bwoti, abantu ate wano mu Buganda muno. Beba chikola nyo central.
Ne police ne chikola.
Why not? It is their duty.
So who should we blame now? Who should take responsibility?
Blame the person who provoked or the one who sought for provocation to posture. To do what? Posture. Wali walaba luli nga member wa parliament aliko kickinga a police officer. Actually, the
woman MP. The
women MPs.
And they said that was self-defense.
Which is self-defense? Because against the state? So, ogamba nti no bwe balitwala obuyinza nabo baligamba nti no okuba wa polisi nga tomanyi nti no muna Uganda ate tomanyi nti no mu mateeka gaffe abaana abo bali banna Uganda bayinza n'okukuwa akalulu. A police officer who is doing his duty. You try it in the US. Try it. Or in Britain. Try it.
A police officer to do his duty reasonably.
Very good. Force. Once the police officer in any country tells you, please, waliwo lwebankwatira ebungereza East London nga anti ebyaffe ebya Uganda tenesibye omusipi simanyi oba babula batya ate ne munange ali anvuga nga etambulidde naye enkola yaffe ya Uganda. Then the police officer said, you are under arrest, sir, and anything you say will be taken as evidence against you. I said, I'm sorry, sir. Are you Briton? I said, no, I'm just a visitor from Uganda, and I'm sorry that I'm not used to this. And I ever babeera ne gadgets ezirecording eyo buli kyoyogera kyonna can be used against you as evidence. So owa poliisi mwe abaana baffe tukola amateeka bo ne baga implementinga. Tolabye wa poliisi mu parliament akola amateeka. Twakateeka eri narcotics. This one I'm opposing today. Eri narcotics. Theirs is to implement. Why do you kick a police officer? Why do you kick a Ugandan? No. Omwana omuna Uganda atafuna alina abaana alina buli kantu konna alina family n'obusente bwe bamuwa busirusiru bwe butyo. Ogwogenda omusambe agende mu ddwaliro yejanjabiriza millions. You are member of parliament. You see?
We're going to take a very short break on that.
Yes, please.
I'm still going to come back to you to disagree with you.
Please, I'm ready.
That the police,
yes,
or whichever security arms,
yes,
that are in the way of these political parties
yes,
to exercise their duties,
yes,
because as mandated by what you read there,
yes, 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 that is it, exactly.
Bagende wansi,
exactly.
Bagende jabwe bogere n'abantu.
Yes.
They should tell their ideologies very clearly.
Now, before we go into, let me tell you. One of the most vicious parties I've seen is NUP.
We take a very short break.
Abantu bano ngena misindwa. Where are the 12,000? Can we win those souls back? Can we win them back to NRM?
But also
if we don't win them, then what is our problem?
Yes.
That's the most important. What is our problem? You must check yourself. If possible, if it requires that you rebrand, then do it. Chovola banze njagala nnyo President Museveni. Every other political term of office, when he's moving over, he creates an ideology. Wano simanyi Rubengo, wano ekisanja. You know, you must rebrand. That's the best way. Naye ffe abagoberezi ba President Museveni, we are simply put sitting ducks, possibly even lemu ducks.
Abakulembeze ba president abagoberezi okuyita ku talk show ano nti jangu oyogere ebintu
tebagala.
It is a struggle.
It is a struggle. You try. I've told you. I already told you I admire.
So how does such a party win election?
No, of course.
If they win it anyway.
You know, look here. Peasants are the most formidable forces. If you go to socialism, the Bolshevik Revolution of 1917, October, was won by peasants. Peasant yetamanye ebibyo bya mateeka simanyi
peasant ye muntu wa bulijjo
omwana ali wana ali kuvuga boda omugambe nti nno nze ndi wa jema tuli bya mateeka biki. That is elitism. You must. Nze wange bwe banda bandiko ka boda banvuga oba ntambula n'abaana ba boda oba tuli awo mu bantu tuli mayo enguudo biki. That's what the peasant wants. Peace, water, can I move on a clean road? That's what they want. Kakati ffe objectives za NRM ne constitution yaffe bwetyo bweyogera tukolera abantu. Naye the disciple, yes we do.
Bwetyo bweyogera naye bwekola.
Bwekola. Chovola ba NRM elemedeko emyaka 4.
So the 12,000 votes in Namisindi.
Yes.
Nupu yazifuna etya nga tena bakukwatako na buyinza
kola. Otyo webali nnyo. Babeerawo descendants babeerawo sebo. Don't think, you know, Jesus Christ, even Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam yebifuna ebyebizo. Bwogenda mu Bayibuli ndowooza Kings ne Samuel tujiyita Shimei syndrome. Ojja kugugolinga Shimei olabe bye yakola King David. Abo babe opposition must be there. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ebirungi byokka aleese mirembe bino naye waliwo abamuwakanya. Yava atya e Mecca okudduka okugenda e Madina.
Kati
Nabi Isa alayhi salam.
Kati Nabi NRM abamuwakanyiza wano mu central nga beeyongedde obungi. What does that read? What message does it send to NRM? Buganda
is a unique region. N'abazungu tomanyi nti no 1950 what 54 kabaka wano bamugoba kabaka Muteesa abazungu naye Obote bwe yamuzaayo babuleminga ani okusinga abazungu naye Obote because Obote was black. Okay,
babuleminga Obote
the magnitude of blame of the two escaped, rather exiling of the Kabaka of Buganda. Obote was blamed more because maybe he was a black man. So Buganda is a region to reckon with. Toyinza kukola politics ya Uganda newankubadde nga Museveni taliiwo nga avuddeko. Toyinza kukola politics ya Uganda nga you are not taking Buganda in a very special way, calculated way, but you must be very careful. You must be a very good Machiavellian. Aliyosomye ekitabu kya Machiavelli sebo.
Nsome bitabo bingi.
Ekya Machiavelli njagala The Prince by Machiavelli written 500 years ago. Olina okubeera Machiavellian. Mu Buganda olina okubeera the lion. Okubye wano kabaka wo yagenda wa ekayunga. Kabaka magulu nyondo. Okiraba ekyo? Naye olina okubeera fox nga Machiavelli bw'ayogera. Bw'oba oyagala gavumenti ya NRM eveeko olwaleero katikati kwata kabaka omuteeke mu gundi mu prison. Mukwate kati omuteeke mu prison nga bwe twakwata Mumbere. Kwatako kabaka wa Buganda. Awo daggwe ssebo oba ofulumirawo sikulimba. So you must be a lion. You are not going to Kayunga, but you must be a fox. Don't touch him. Because he's an embodiment of the people of Central. You see? You can play around with the periphery, the Mumberes and the others, but not Buganda. And the historical, 500 years up to now, they have been doing that. They have built themselves like that. So these courses we are doing here,
yes,
I speak from the bottom of my heart.
So do you see NRM
yes,
bouncing back in Central here?
Very well. It will come.
Them?
Today, local people, there are frustrations. We can have waves, we can have...
Even the NRM to speak, the NRM in Buganda to
yes,
come on media here
yes,
and to speak for the party.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And be able to sell their ideologies very well.
Yes.
But maybe it's been disappeared.
Buganda, NRM can never win Buganda to the original extent. No. That one, I'm here. I'm talking to Ugandans. Many of them now, you watch me from the other side. NRM will never win Buganda to the original status like it was in the 80s and the 90s. No.
Why?
Of course, this is a polity. You must learn how to manage principalities. Buganda in politics is its own principality. Ani abajjawo Obote si Baganda, Buganda. You get me right? What about Amin? Buganda. You see? What about Obote too? Buganda.
Do we see them ngabajjawo ne Mwai Museveni?
Now, and Museveni having learnt lessons from the colonial times, Buganda, 1948 farmers' riots, I.K. Musazi, down the road, the political lane. Museveni is a very good historian. Very good historian. Kankubuli kino. Who knew? Did the Obote, Amin and the others know that in Buganda, these are assimilative, is an assimilative kingdom? Do you know that Buganda are the most tolerant to other cultures? Do you know how many Bagisu are in Buganda here? Kayunga Mukono. Banji nyo. Okay? Which other leader learned that we have Bakocha and the Banyara? To get shock absorbers, it is only Museveni and the NRM.
Don't we say
so
that?
If you have not gone through the history lane of Uganda,
yes,
you may not understand Buganda as a region. And yet...
Or you might underestimate Buganda.
And all other leaders underestimated Buganda. All other leaders underestimated Buganda. It is only President Museveni who is a very good scholar of history African history. That's why the other day in Kololo, when they told me to pray, I said, you are a senior Rastaman. That one is a Rastaman. President Museveni is a Rastaman who has started the political, historical, mix of the central region. Otherwise called
history
Buganda. Yes.
Central region yamuyise mu ngalo in
Yes.
2021 elections, and it's likely to be worse 2026.
We have Buganda, we have MPs of NRM, a few of them from Buganda. I know them. You see that? Including Mwami Aniono Wekayunga, the minister.
Amos Lugorobi.
Lugorobi. NRM. Maybe on individual merit, yes, but he's an NRM person. That's why the other day, we were fighting over the Mabati issue. I thought that was a big mistake. And it's good that the president realized it. That somebody had scammed up to fight, especially NRM cadres, and more so from Buganda.
Remember, that was not fighting. The man was found with iron sheets on his farm.
Ngayagajawa?
It could be Prime Minister's office or whatever it is. So no one was fighting.
What about Kasaja?
And that's why
what about Kasaja?
Okay, now that case
Kasaja, who even says, I don't know how the iron sheets came.
That's Kasaja.
Yes.
Okay. But thing is, back to NRM.
Yes.
Nupu ye ni mukole ebyayo. Nupu yategedde nti wano mu central.
Yes.
Ekyalinawo amaanyi.
Exactly. Kakati kankubulire NRM.
What is NRM going to do?
NRM's frontal war. Buganda have lost, but have gained it with Teso and the Northern. But
Honorable, you've just said here that without Buganda in your hands,
yes,
your political terrain is not as great.
Very right, very right. Now, do you think all of Baganda are bad? All? But do you know that Baganda, when it comes to coalescing themselves to oppose, they can do it as a corporate body, all of them? You know it. You know it very well. So the only way, you don't use any manipulations. No. But you must get Buganda into inclusivity. When Museveni was coming to power, he got most of the Buganda leaders, Semogerere, Sebana Kizito, Bani abo banyanzi, bonna nebayingira ate bakuze batya newankubadde nga abamu baafa abaana baabwe webali abatayagala chaos. No. The only problem we have here is the land problem. And the land problem is a critical one. I think 70% of all world revolutions, revolts and wars spring up from land. Okay? So we must be very careful, and President Museveni has tried his best. The Bataka, the tenants, since 1900 agreement. It's only President Museveni who has tried to solve that. Even Amini tried in 1975. Biyamba. Omuganda atunze ettaka n'agenda n'akola ebintu ebirala ate bayiiya nnyo. Omanyi nti nno, I think the best innovators in this country are Baganda. Ethnic Baganda, best innovators. You go to Dubai and elsewhere, and originally their own. Some of us can own property using state channels. Most Baganda, is it Hamu Bachibo Nabo? Bezimbirwa kubanga balinga bayindi. The business acumen is with them. And the level of organization. Antu wakubanga culture ya Baganda evira ddala kubazadde ne suka negenda down the Kabaka. When the Kabaka says something,
so
to me,
what is it that NRM is doing right now to galvanize and reinforce to ensure that Buganda gets back to?
We have a manifesto. You give the peasants what they want. Provide markets for what they produce. Put roads for them. The factories in Buganda, how many were there? About 20, 30 years ago.
Are these-
How many are they today?
Are these going to be enough
They are not enough.
to convince the people in Central here to get back into the hand? Because
In your A level, you did the economics, or you didn't. Sorry for that. Human wants and needs are unlimited. Bw'oba oleesa oluguudo luli nga ffe tukula nga tukaaba nguddo okuva embaala okutuuka wano nnaku 2. Nnaku mmeka? 2. Ng'abasajja nga nkyali muto tusula mu bus paaka 2 days from these days. And by the way, I drive myself, Rastaman.
you don't have a driver?
No, what for? I don't. But with that small pickup, why should I have one? Yes, maybe I have drivers for other vehicles. By this one, I do it myself. Now, I can drive to Kampala and go back. I have vehicles from deep my village in Nibumbo, Kamasho, Kamunyes, flying Kampala every day. By 7, 8, they are here. And then they fly back. You see that? Naye bw'okola ebintu buli kyokola kyonna kireeta omutawaana omulala. Okoze kino yeese enguddo nungi nnyo kaakati jaamu yiyo.
Prime Minister Nabanja ndaba agenda agaba ebintu, ndaba agenda agamba ministry zonna tudde kati mu byobulimi, everyone should be focusing on agriculture and many other things. Is this the part
Yes. It's the way to go. Let me tell you, when they say agriculture in Uganda is now, the population is 70% in agriculture, is a big lie. Actually, we are almost 90%. Okujja continue. I told you when I was beginning at this program, at the preamble, I told you the Western type of education has destroyed our people completely. But abagaga, you know, what we call agri-industry, agro-related processes. Waliwo atalya mmere wano ng'evuddewo ate yaffe nga nnungi. Just a few years ago, less than 20 years ago, nga tuimportinga n'obuntu obutono ne apples nga ziva mu South Africa kakati ziizo ziri wano Kabaale kati naffe tu exportinga walala era ne mira.
Honorable, a quick one.
Yes.
Is the MK movement going to help or disrupt the NRM rebuilding of its forces?
MK, thank you so much. MK.
How much is it going to help
Muhoozi
or affect?
Muhoozi Kainerugaba wamusanze ng'ayise Walare. Which rally did he call? Be careful. He attends other functions, possibly because he knows he's a serving soldier. The other day, we were to speak at her invitation into her home. I was there on a Sunday, Monday, I was not there. And we went there. But he was also invited. No, abaana baffe Uganda, Muhoozi agenze yo, General Muhoozi lwaki agenze yo. Ate ba General bameka. Newankubadde nga wano General Katumba, very senior Munduli trainee. Munduli. You know Munduli is just only equivalent to Sandhurst of Britain. Munduli. Abasinga abasolja ababadde mu Uganda babadde Munduli.
That thing, so, MK. Question is, how much is it going to affect or help the NRM rebuild on the ground?
Are you aware that he has to help because he's a presidential advisor? Presidential advisor on what? Special
operations.
Kwisha. What is an advisor supposed to do? And what are those special missions? Number 2. Do you call, you know, Oluganda, kanchiddemu olwaleero. Oluganda bw'ogamba mwana, omuntu alowooza child. General Muhoozi is an old man. Have you seen, I think it was the new vision of Saturday where we had the magazines. You saw the children, the grandchildren of the president. Mwekuze. Erando was even great-grandchildren. They should be having great-grandchildren. So, General Muhoozi is not a young man. He's not a young man. He's an old man, actually. Normally, out here. Number 2. And 3. You attain that level of a general now. What else? What else? If you studied the principles in psychology, the principles of Maslow, the pyramid of needs.
Honorable.
You have gone up to this apex. Now you become...
How much of this movement
Yes.
are we going to see
Yes.
affecting or helping the NRM?
Rebranding. Nkubulidde dda. Museveni uno olwaleero olubengo olwaleero ekisanja rebranding. Movement is rebranding like slothing, you know, snake. After some time it removes the outer skin. It
Honorable.
slothes.
Am I getting you right?
Yes.
The MK movement is a rebranding process
For NRM.
of the NRM.
For NRM. Waliwo ebibi ebiri mu NRM.
So the MK movement
Kirabika abimanyi.
is a rebranding
Oh
process
yes, that is it.
of the NRM.
That is it. Naye wali omulabi ayise laara eyiye? No. Nze bwe muyite ewange eyo ajja. Ate tewali tteeka erigamba nti nno jeno tagenda kuziika jeno tagenda mu kyaki naye ali muntu munnayuganda.
There is it. You've heard it from the man himself.
Oh yes.
The MK movement
Yes.
is a rebranding process
Of the NRM.
of the NRM.
Exactly.
Simply because Honorable atugambye nti President Yoweri Museveni buli kisanja ekiddako abaako
Ka rebranding.
rebranding.
But now this is going to be a big rebranding process.
Your closing remarks.
I want to say, abatulaba
biragalalagala ne tugenda ku nguzi eri mu palamenti,
Yes.
tugenze mu bibiina by'ebyobufuzi, n'ovuma n'abazungu.
having been a teacher for over 30 years,
Yes.
I must make a summary of what we have learned today.
Yes.
Never trust a white person. Imperialists, the homosexuals, the Draculas, blood suckers, never trust them. Ekyokubiri. Etteeka lye twakoze is an imperial law. We shouldn't have opened the ganja for whatever reason. Yes, it is true. We need money, we can sell. True, but we shouldn't have opened it that way. I oppose it. I stand to oppose it. On the same note,
And you are wait for any repercussions that
please,
are coming.
and I'm very ready for that. Ekyokubiri, over the same, Mira has no intoxicative properties at all. It was just a victim of circumstance that they bring it to patch up with the partial legalization of ganja in this country as against the penal code as established some time back. I am aware that the local mafia, the local imperialist, the local capitalist sponsored this law completely. Mira is not. We will stand to oppose. I want people of Wakiso, of Mabira, of Western Nile, of Koboko, of Terego, of Kadama in Karamoja and elsewhere. Stand together. We oppose that kind of thing. Very lastly, parties,
Yes.
mature up. Get up and stand up. Bob Marley said, get up and stand up. Please, can you get up? This country needs you. You are Ugandans. You are Ugandans. Get up and stand up. This issue of lamentations, the NRM is this. What have you done? I've just given you the example of NUP, the clandestine way of doing things, which we NRM must watch. If, you take power, you must learn how to maintain power. Not take power and simply leave it to God.
Peace be upon you, Jah
Who
Rasta.
Jah bless no man cast his majesty and Prasilasai. One love, one heart.
Bye bye to you.
Rasta.
obeera oli kubona gangamuka ku Baba TV.